Yo, what's good, people? What's going on? What's going on? We got the gift of gab in this hoe. Oh, hey, Carragher. Hey, how's everyone? Hey, how's everyone feeling on this Sunday? I know me personally. Oh, I've just been feeling all types of emotions. I cried yesterday. I cried today. I'm just sick of being a black woman and feeling like this. Sick of my brothers dying in the streets. Makes me very emotional to even think about. I saw one of the most influential posters I saw today was on Twitter. Somebody wrote the transcript of George Floyd's last words. Like their poster was all of the words. I never watched the video. The murder of George Floyd, I never watched the video. There's just certain stuff that I feel like I can't watch that. But anyways, that made me cry and I took a nap, so I'm up now. I have my friend Grindstone joining us tonight. He is a business owner of Grindstone Universal. His name's Daryl Dawson. I rarely ever call him by his full name. Yeah, it was definitely appalling, be will. But yeah, I got Grindstone joining us tonight. Business owner. He's owned his business for over 20 years now. But he recently opened up a store in Adams Morgan right before the pandemic. So he hasn't really had a chance to shine when it comes to opening this second store that he has. Yeah, taking a nap after crying is definitely clutch. But I wanted to talk also because I don't have any Black Lives Matter material. I don't have any shirts. My shirt tonight just says "fuck what you heard." But if you guys could drop some black-owned businesses that are making like custom Black Lives Matter material and stuff, can you please put that in the comments? If you know one of your friends, aunts, cousins, anyone that's making that stuff, because I want to start supporting and I want to start helping to promote people's businesses as well. So any BLM merchandise that people have, please tag them on here throughout this video. Grindstone, if you're on this, can you please wave in the comments so I can have you join me? And like I said, he's a business owner. He has a lot of experience as a black man and being a business owner for the last 2 decades. He's very influential to me. And we met about 2 years ago. And ever since I moved out here to the city, he's just been like a very vital part of my growth. So I'm just waiting to see if he's joined yet. Give me 1 sec, you guys. Nope. Anyone want to say what they did this weekend? Anyone go to a protest? And if so, where? I didn't go to a protest this weekend. Oh, no, I did. I went yesterday. What am I talking about? Oh, hey, Nick. I'm wondering how long these protests are going to last. Just because, I want the momentum to keep going. Hopefully some things change, but I wonder how long these protests are going to last, because I'm going to keep going for as long as they're being thrown. So you guys have any info on the protests during the week as well, let me know. I'm just waiting for him to join. Oh, hey, Mom. Oh, there you go. Let's do some gift of gab food. Oh, I like that idea. Hey. Okay, so we got Grindstone. He's about to join. Had cat ears on. I'm so used to having them on now. Plant life.
Hey, we in here.
Hey, everyone. This
I'm
is
on.
Daryl Dawson,
No, I'm
aka
not. I'm Grindstone.
Grindstone.
There we go.
Oh, this is
There we go.
Grindstone we have on tonight, you guys. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Do I look greasy?
No, that melanin popping
Okay,
though, so
bet.
you good.
Yeah, I've been outside all day.
Working, huh?
What's up with the ears?
Oh, sometimes I just like to wear them. Why are you questioning them?
I'm with that. No, I'm with that. It's just it's a question. It's not like a doubt. I don't doubt your
Ah,
prowess.
I don't know. Sometimes I like to wear them.
Yeah,
I'm feeling festive today, so thought I'd throw them
I
on.
feel that.
Well, you can say hi to
I
everyone
feel that.
that's on.
What's up, everybody? We appreciate you.
Yes, we definitely appreciate you guys coming. So tonight I wanted to talk about business and brands during the pandemic because I think, of course, everything that's going on right now, not only is the economy taking a hit, but individuals are taking a hit as well in their personal lives and things like that with their brands and their businesses, kind of being up in the air right now. Not everyone is as
Mm,
fortunate to have you have an online store, so you're very lucky to have
I
that
do.
as well. A lot of people don't have that or even have the momentum to like have an online store right now. Um, so I have some questions I wanted to ask you. So I know you started this. I think you told me back in like 98, 99,
Yeah,
Grindstone.
98.
So so when you started this, I know you had told me the story about it, but if you wanted to just give like a brief synopsis on how you started your brand and like how it came to fruition and like how you took it from just being a
Mm,
thought to actually having a brand and wearing it every day.
every day.
Every day. He
All
wears
right,
it every
so
day.
yeah, I do. So can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay. All right. So I used to work for this company, and we sold. This is like from the root of it. So we sold. It was a wholesale company. I did not know what I was getting into when I started working there, and we sold like art, framed art pieces to all these different, just whoever would buy them. Like it wasn't even no real thing. It was like cold call sales, which
Mm-hmm.
is where I learned how the anatomy of a sale. Okay, so as I was doing that, every day I would have to come back from being in the field and I would have to settle up with the owner of the business. And so that means that whatever I sold that day, I would have to come back and give him his cut and he would give me my cut.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, I want to be on his side of the deal. Like I need to figure that shit out, right? But I didn't understand how it was working.
Right.
And so I just studied them. And this is like everybody who has a job, they need to look at it as a paid internship. Like you need to be looking at
Mm.
how your job works. So then if that's not your sweet spot, you could at least like learn how the owner is working the business.
Right.
And so I don't know. Every day I had to work to get whatever I earned, and he didn't. Like he had people working for him, and
Mm.
so I wanted to learn how to do that. So I watched and watch and watch and learn and learn and learn. And then around that time, Master P, I mean, you sold game up from wherever you can get it from. So Master P started No Limit, and he was doing like some little interviews and stuff. And so I started like really reading what he was talking about and what an independent business person looks like. Now at this time, I didn't have aspirations on being an entrepreneur,
Right.
or I didn't know I did, but I knew I didn't want to work for anyone else. So
Yeah.
I learned that I had to figure out what I was good at, what I was willing to put time in doing,
Mm-hmm.
and in the element of a business, regardless of what business it was. And so, in one of the things, like one of the jewels I held from Master P, he was like, before you make $1 million, you got to learn how to make $1,000 consistently. And so I was just like, okay, damn, let me figure out how to make $1,000 consistently. Like that's enough. That's a whole thing right there. Learn how to make $1,000
Yep. That's
consistently.
rent.
Yeah, you got to figure that out. So I really, I really paid attention to that, and then I went, like I was not a business major,
Mm-hmm.
but I had a business 101 book, like a textbook, and I started reading business 101, like
Should be.
supply and demand and just some basic things. And so I understood that, like, at the root of it, all businesses are the same. There's something similar about the way all businesses work. But in order to become good at what you do, you have to have an interest in it because it's going to take a certain amount of hours and
Right.
months and weeks to perfect it. So I had to ask myself, what was I good at? I was like, I'm good at drawing, like I can draw and paint.
Yeah.
And where's the demand in the marketplace that I'm good at? I like back then I used to buy like t-shirts every week. So I was like, I know what a good t-shirt looks like, and I'm good at making images. So
Yep.
then one day when I was just really tired of working there, I was driving home. It was probably like a 30-minute drive. And I was just like really thinking about what it was that I wanted to do and how I wanted to experience my life. And so I was like, damn, you know what? I could make t-shirts. I could put my images on t-shirts and I could sell them. Now, mind you, this is before Instagram. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was just about to stop you there to say that. Yep, this
yeah.
was before like it was cool to iron logos on their shirts because I did that a lot in high school. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't buy a Gucci shirt. I ironed it on my shirt.
You was bootleg.
I was bootleg. I'm not doing it anymore. Okay.
I mean, at that time, internet had just got, like, everybody have internet in their house, like, you know, like 98.
Yeah.
So you had to really be doing it to do it. You know, you had to
Yep.
like hit the ground. Back at that time, like the basketball court was like Instagram because
Right.
everybody who was popping might have been
Was
like
there.
at a certain basketball court, right? And so I had to go there, pop the trunk, sell my shirts. Now, all I really wanted was to like have a couple notable people in the city wear some of my clothes, and I'd have felt like it was a triumph, you know. And then the way me and my business partner who had started the business, but it was really clear. Let me tell you, like, so when I figured it out, I went home that day, and my roommate at the time, his friend was the one who became my business partner. They were playing video games, you know, just video games all day, not even eating, drinking water, just sitting there looking like all shriveled up playing video
Guys
games
still
like
do
home.
it.
Yeah, bad look, bad look. So
Ew.
I came in the house and I was like, look, you know, then to kick the video console like, bam, I got
Right.
it figured out. This is what we gonna do, right? And it was like, what? And my business partner who was my business partner, who I started with, he had just got shot.
Oh.
Right, so I was like, I got it figured out. This is what's gonna take us there. I was like, I got an idea. I'm gonna make T-shirts and we gonna sell them. And they were like, yeah,
That's
whatever,
crazy.
whatever. And then so the one who became my business partner, he said, well, what is it that I got to do to get out the street? I want to do anything to get out the street, right? And I was like, look, you keep hustling and you put the money to the T-shirts. I'm gonna create the T-shirts and I'm gonna talk to people and sell them. Because at that time, from the business I was working at, I learned how to sell anything. Like I could walk in a room, people I didn't know, and sell them whatever. That's what I was doing.
I think that's so important now because
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. I'm just gonna step in there, but I think a lot of times now, not to like shit on anyone's brand or anything, but I think people have the mindset that it's so easy to work for yourself now because so many people are doing it and you have more access to like information. But I feel like it's just as hard as what you're describing now. Not literally having to sell shirts out of you know, your trunk, but
Yeah.
having to sell them on Instagram and things like that. Like it's just as hard. It's just different now.
Yeah, see, well, Insta, it gives you like an instant way for people to see your stuff. However, it might be equivalent because back then, if you were like popping, the word would travel and the mystique would be there. Like Instagram has erased mystique, and mystique has value. You know, if you
It
don't know
does.
something about something, you want to go figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, but Instagram is a great tool. I can't hate on Instagram, but there are certain elements that you need if you want to be successful, and you have to have them. Like if you don't have them within yourself, you have to have somebody who's able to connect people. Like
Okay.
somebody who's like you know, just that person who can't settle down, but they're just out there creating awareness. Yeah, you need that person. You also need the person who's like kind of the nerd, who's just like in the room creating the thing. Like
Yeah.
whatever that is. They're just, that's all they do. They don't even want to see the people. They're creating the stuff. Then you also need the person who knows how to close a deal. So the first person I mentioned is the person who kind of opens the deal.
Opener, yeah.
The last person is the person who closes the deal, gets the person to pay. Like once you have all those things, then you have a business. And but it's difficult for one person to be all of those things.
I was
And
just
so
about to say, because I was
yeah,
at his house recently. I think you heard me talking on the phone, but I was almost about to start crying because I'm like, my dad's a business owner. He's always been a small business owner. Um, and I've kind of had a tough time finding jobs out after school.
uh,
Um, so I thought to myself, why don't I just create my own? Like I might as well.
yeah,
And I'm having trouble because I have to be all three myself. And that's okay because most business owners have to be, you have to wear multiple hats or whatever. But
yeah,
I'm finding like I'm kind of at a roadblock right now because I have the creativeness and I have the wits to sell and
uh,
close. I just don't have that business savvy aspect, and that's what's like throwing me back. Like making sure you have reoccurring clients, and I don't know,
yeah.
making sure the financials are good.
All that.
I'm
Well, let me
struggling with
tell you,
that like more than anything.
you have to learn how to delegate, and because your business is like your baby,
Right.
it's a lot of times tough to allow people to handle some of your stuff. But
How do you get to that point? Because I know your brand is like your baby. My brand is my baby as well. It's just
all
I
right, let
don't
me
know how
tell
to
you, let me tell you,
delegate it.
this is how you gotta look at it, right? And there's like a cruel way to look at it,
Give it
but
to me.
your brand gotta turn into your bitch, right? And you can't let that bitch sleep. And she gotta go out there and she gotta tap everybody on the shoulder, and she has to be out there and she has to sell herself. And even when it's cold and rainy, even when it's hot and muggy, she has to be out there selling it, right?
Hmm.
And so even though you have an emotional attachment, you have to like kick her in the ass.
Okay.
Because if you don't, you'll hold it too tight. And if you hold it too tight, you won't let the capable people handle it. You're
Mm.
not going to be good at
Shoot.
everything. You don't have enough hours. You don't have enough time to
You
become
spit
good at everything,
gems.
right? And so you have like to accelerate. You have to delegate.
Writing that one down.
Yeah, you have to. And it's tough. And you're going to find a lot of incompetent people. But, and you also have to have mentors.
And that's what I was lacking too, because uh growing up in Frederick, I don't even think I had any black teachers. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
one, two.
right.
I didn't have black neighbors. I feel like that was kind of my disadvantage when it came to me having this business or prospering because I've never really had a mentor before. I've never had someone older. I would preferably that kind of looks like me,
Mhm.
guiding me to the next step in what I want to do. I've never had that before.
And let me
So
tell you, they don't have to look like you. They just have to be
okay.
successful at what you do.
Ooh, you're right.
They have to like, and you can aim for the throne, like whoever's the top person at what you do. Like, I mean, say you're doing something that's been done before, find the person who's like the one, and then help them.
Okay.
Because if you help people who make money, who are doing what you do, that's how you make money doing what you want to do. Now that's
Okay.
counterproductive to a greedy person. I mean, it sounds like it's like the wrong way to think. But if I see somebody who's, I don't know, say if I want to dig ditches and this person's the best ditch digger, I'm gonna help them dig ditches. Through
Hmm.
that, if that's the king of digging ditches, I'm gonna learn everything I need to learn about it, and they're gonna throw me like good looks off the content. I'm gonna learn so much dealing with that person.
You're right. You just kind of took my whole perspective out. I'm like, woo. They don't
Yeah,
have to look like me. No, you're exactly right.
yeah, no, no, they don't, and I don't want you to box yourself in like that. Like
No, you're
you
right.
can,
I definitely am boxing myself in.
yeah, you can make those determinations about who you do business with after you're on that level where you can do your business. But the person who wants to, the person who's like the boss, they're the boss because of their practices, not because of their race.
Mm.
Because you can be related to everybody, you can be in a friend circle with everybody, you can be whatever, but just the person who has the discipline and kind of the it factor to do what it takes, who's successful. Follow that person.
Okay.
Yeah, be
No,
on.
you're right about that.
Annoy that person. Get on that
Yeah.
person's whole trail. And then because that person came up the way they came up, they're gonna find something and they're gonna say, you know what? I was that person at a certain point in my life, and they'll throw
Right.
you a bone.
Because I have
Yeah.
people asking me if I can mentor them, and I'm like, uh, I mean,
You
yeah,
like
I don't want to say no. I do know some game, but
yeah,
I'm flattered because I'm like, I feel like I'm out here swimming by myself, and then I have
yeah,
people looking up to me, and I'm like, I'm kind of taken aback from it, but I appreciate it because that means that they're seeing your work. So,
yeah.
I understand it. Oh, I have a
But don't
question.
but
It
don't
says,
spread yourself too thin also, because like I
oh,
got caught
you're
up in
right.
that. I began to like everybody who was like, oh, I like what you're doing. Help me. I started doing that too much. And then it took away from me being able to put time into the reason why they like me. Like I didn't, like my key to success, I got to put in 5 concentrated hours a day on what it
Right.
is on what it is I do. Right. So I almost have to manage myself like a high school student. I have
Yeah,
class
that's a
at this
discipline.
time. Yeah. Like, so if I don't do that, and if I'm busy, like spreading myself thin, next thing you know, I'll be just like a paper thin person with the past, but I won't be creating my present or my future because I'll be spread too thin. So you got to have like this
That's good
organizational
advice.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you're right about
also,
that.
as an entrepreneur, you have to, you will take it on the chin often, and you have to know everything about your business. But once you know everything, you can then delegate.
Okay.
And
There's
you
a
have to go,
question.
you got to go super, super hard.
It says, does your guest have a team of professionals to assist in taking his business to the next phase?
I do have a team. I could always use team members who fit properly, and that's the hardest thing to find because I've spent a lot of money, made a lot of mistakes on people who were not the right person. Now I learned lessons that I'll never forget, and those I call it tuition. That's the only way I could spin it. It's like
Hmm.
spin that story the best for me to accept it. But it's I have people now who I trust who who do what they're supposed to do and they're good at what they do.
One thing that I've thought of, because I've also thought about like the financial aspect of starting a brand, a
Mm-hmm.
business, is hiring people that want to work with you. But
Mm-hmm.
I've also learned that, thankfully we live near a bunch of universities and colleges. So even
Yeah,
going to Howard to find someone that's good at
yeah,
computer design and can design your website for free,
definitely,
reach out to people who want to intern and who want to
for
be,
sure.
you have to sell your brand to them for them to want to put, their man hours into helping you. So
Yeah,
I think interns is a good idea as well.
interns are great, and now they have like, I mean, it's so many advantages to a business owner or a person with a dream right now. You have several interns, and you have like all these foreign websites with people who are ready to help. Like
I know,
Fiverr,
right?
like
Yep.
Fiverr is so good. That's one website that's so good. They have people who are willing to do everything, and if you know what you need, you can ask specific questions and get somebody to do that. And you don't have to like create office space for them. It's just like
Yeah.
a real good deal. And
Oh, it says, are the people working with you actually hired staff or independent contractors?
both.
Both.
Yeah, I have very limited hired staff, and I have several independent contractors.
Yeah, because I was working for Grindstone just for a little while when I had mentioned earlier in this live that he had opened his store the beginning of this year. But I was doing simple things like um, trying to create like a community presence and also doing email blasts. So doing
Yeah.
stuff like that, helps move a business along as well. Staying on top of things like that.
Let me
Um,
tell you, a good business is a good business, and you can learn from a business that has nothing to do with what you're doing, and learn from them about some things that you're doing. So one great business is Clutch Sports Agency. That's LeBron James' friend sports agency, like his boys. And they encourage people to know their value when they have limited term contracts, so then they keep their options open.
Ooh, okay.
That's a good way. That's a good way to work, and that's a good way to hire. Like to lock somebody in for a lifetime, or to be locked in for a lifetime. It's we don't live in that kind of world anymore where that
We
has to be
don't.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like just find the person's talent, find the person's willingness, and then work with it while it's that season.
Mm.
And then if the need or the desire to continue to build together exists, then that's great. Go with that. But like, um,
Start off with something limited or
yeah,
short period. Yeah.
yeah, don't feel like you're stuck anywhere. There's no need to do that. We're not there anymore.
Oh, okay. This is my dad. He's asking because he has his
Mm.
business and he retired about a year ago. He's saying, has your guest and his business faced any impediments in accessing capital to expand? Have you had any issues with that before?
Hell yeah. that's that's the struggle.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you about, because when I talk to you, you're like kind
Mm,
of chilling. I'm not
mm,
sure where where you put your money at besides your business, but I
mm.
know that you invest in so many different things. So
Yeah.
you being a business owner right now during the pandemic, outside of your profit or income from your brand Grindstone, where else are you putting your money right now?
Well, most of that is a secret. And
Oh, okay, right.
no, but okay, so I have another business that's active, Peace in the Air, that you're familiar with. So we're a cannabis business, delivery service, but in the Grindstone store, we also have a brick and mortar area where people come in, I-71 compliant within the law. It's a good look. Um, I still have a couple pieces of real estate,
Okay.
but in the pandemic, like the rental has been went lame because I was doing Airbnb. But fortunately,
Mm.
before the pandemic hit, without knowing the pandemic was going to hit, I sold a condo, so that like offered me a little cushion.
Oh,
And
nice.
then
Okay.
and then this is another thing. I also have like, I mean, I have good business credit, like on my just my business name,
Hmm.
like not me, but my business. But
Yeah.
I
That's
also have
nice.
like good. I mean, my credit is cool, but I'm saying like you and your business are different.
Yeah.
Like you're different entities. Like I was telling you about the Wizard of Oz. Like
Oh Lord.
you are, you're a different person than your business is.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
different.
So when they want to sue you, they can sue you, but not your business. Or if they want to sue your
Correct.
business, they sue your business, and they don't sue you as a person.
Yeah, it's like different individuals.
So does that
And so
start with
like
like a LLC? That's a LLC, or is that like any type of
I
business?
have an LLC, but it is any type of LLC is the safest. Those were created in 1996, so you could have limited liability.
Yeah.
And you want limited liability. You don't want maximum liability. You want to be able to.
So when would you expand to something else? Is that when you have like more people that work for you? That's where I kind of get confused. Like when does it become like I know there's other
Like what?
abbreviations, but I'm not sure. Is there anything else after an LLC, or does everyone just get an LLC?
LLC for life. Interscope Records is an LLC. You could
For
get $1
real?
billion on being an LLC. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But no, like, so I learned how to use my business name to borrow money from banks, and I don't even call them banks. They're called lending institutions.
Mm-hmm.
Banks make money off the interest that they allow people to borrow. So they're there to lend you money, but don't take any money from them until you know how you're gonna make that play.
Mm. That's actually smart to hear. Anyone that's like starting a business or has some financial woes,
Yeah,
please listen to this.
yeah. No, they'll give it to you, and then when you do business, okay. So this is another thing that a lot of people in business don't understand. A lot of people don't understand. When you approach something, offer the person who you're approaching the benefit for them to deal with you.
Right.
Like a lot of times people are like, man, I need this. If
But
you
you
come
have
to
to
me,
say, yeah, how it'll benefit them because
if you
that's
come
how
to
you pull them in.
right, if you come to me saying what you need, I really don't care. I need 1,000 things too. But
Yeah.
come to me saying, if you do this, I'll do this. Or you know what? I could do this for you. All I need is that. And that's how you need to approach people. That's how you need to approach banks. That's how you need to approach everything. I'll give you this. I like what you're doing. This is what I can offer in exchange for that. It's just the same thing, but different way of asking. You know, so you have banks as lending institutions, and then now this is a whole nother way of looking at it. But follow me. Banks are lending institutions. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to the bank itself, because most of the big banks build prisons and jail cells and all that.
Right.
You can borrow money from people who believe in you. Offer them whatever interest rate or whatever return on their money that they find attractive and strike a deal with that person, then that person becomes a lending institution. And so
That's a good idea.
that's what we're
I'd rather
supposed
deal
to,
with someone. Yeah, I'd rather deal
but
with someone than a bank.
that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Mm.
Like, people were doing that and then banks formed. But we're really supposed to be like lending amongst each other in our own communities. And really,
Yes.
if somebody has like, makes like $250,000 in revenue a year, they can become a lending institution. Because like, at what you need, $10,000? All right, bet. How long you need it for? 12 months? Okay, cool. Just give me 2,000 back on that. Give me 12,000. Pay me every 45 days, every 30 days, a payment on it. And then it becomes you have benefited. What it is, the person who you know has benefited from doing business with them. You or from you with you, you benefited from doing business with them.
Okay.
And then both of y'all have built each other up. Then you can run it back, do it again, and now you have this dollar circulating between you two, and it's not going to somebody who's like funding something that's gonna kill you.
Ooh. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a very good point because, you know, people are canceling all these big businesses right now. Like, sadly, I might have to cancel Chick-fil-A. I already know that they've been putting their money, but now it's just getting to the point where it's like they don't care. I saw the Redskins coach. You know, I don't watch sports, but I saw that he gave $1 million to Trump's campaign.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to pay attention more to where my money goes.
it's important.
Yeah, and I think that for the community aspect, I want things to get more into that than us relying on these big corporations. Like the beauty supply stores that I go to, they're usually Asian owned. Okay, that's true. But I'd rather support someone within my own community who actually cares about the products that they're putting out to the people, and I'd rather buy from them. But I think that in order for us to be able to get to that point as Black people on a larger scale, it's more so, like you said, being able to talk, being able to have lenders within the community, and also being able to believe what people are putting out there. Because a lot of it comes from hate. A lot of it is jealousy. Oh, you're doing this. But instead of that, I'd like it to be what?
If you face all that, you're talking to the wrong people.
I mean, that's how it is. It's not like fantasy land. That's how it is majority of the time. I'd rather go to a Black-owned bank. I'd rather go to a Black-owned anything, to be honest. But I'm stuck going to these places that don't care about me.
Yeah. So you have to go where people, if they don't care about you, like in the immortal words of Crunchy Black.
Crunchy Black! 36 Mafia, baby!
You ain't gotta like me. Let's just get this money. You ain't gotta like me, just act like you like me. Right? So what it is, you have to have leverage, right? The way you create leverage is bringing something to the table that can exist without the person you brought it to. So as a Black community, if we do business with each other, and if we circulate with one another, and if we gift one another, and if we just have like a knee-jerk reaction to researching one another to see who has what or does what we'll start doing is bouncing that dollar around in our community. And then next thing you know, the person who does your nails will have the ability to hire more people who look like you and her.
Yeah.
And then you're doing business with that person, you're looking good, you go somewhere, then you're able to advertise better for the person who looks more like me. Then I'm
Right.
able to hire more, and then we create this leverage, right? So it doesn't matter who is out there outside of us, but we matter now because we've
Mm.
taken money from them, from like, we would normally just throw out there, and now it's us. Now they have to come find us, and they have to come say, what do you want? We need what you got. What do you
Yeah.
want?
Now we
And
got the
that's,
leverage.
yeah. So everybody, everybody has to invest in one another.
Yeah. I
And
believe it.
so, and so, what I'm saying, like, okay, I've been dealing. All right, I was vegan before vegan was a word, right?
Yeah. Since the 90s, you guys.
Yeah, since '99, right? And so it was a couple little janky spots, right?
Yeah.
And these little janky spots had terrible service, whatever. They took forever, and the problem was when I was going there, they didn't really know how to do business.
Mm.
But I was patient with them, right? Even though I was like in my 20s and high headed, I was still a little patient with them because I was like, I know that they'll build up one day, right? When now one of the business that I used to go to, they're like now that everybody's vegan, they're like a multi-million-dollar business. They're super
Wow.
balling right now, right?
Yeah.
But we have to be patient with one another because we're hundreds of years behind in
Mm.
business ownership. So when you see a black person running a business, we don't have like the built-in generational experience
Nope.
that some of these other places have. And
Yeah.
so as a customer, we have to understand that our dollar is going towards helping people learn what they're doing. And it's a certain patience. And they're like, I know people
That's
from other
important.
countries. Yeah, I know people, matter of fact, right next door to me is this store. I don't know what country they're from, but their store is super janky. But I know people who go from their comfortable little environments to go patronize them to build them up
Mm.
because they're of the same like region of the world, like Middle
Right.
Eastern. I'm not even sure what country it
Yeah,
is.
I've heard them talking before. I didn't know.
Yeah, and so like even if you got to drive 10 minutes out your way, 15 minutes out your way, you
Support
still
black-owned businesses.
you have to. It's the
Yeah.
only way.
I think
And
that's
and
very
so
important to highlight. You saying patience. You are very right about that. Because a lot
yeah,
of people will say, I mean, I'm just being the devil's advocate, but people will say, oh, this black owned business is unprofessional. Oh, they take too
yeah.
long. The shipping's too long. But like you said, we don't have the wisdom or the experience because we haven't been in business for hundreds of years, or
But
at least at a larger scale.
let me tell you another thing. When a white business acts funny, we don't say that white business is acting funny. We'll just sit
Nope.
around and be like, I'll check the tracking number again. You know, they said they'll call back, but we don't blame it on the fact that they're white.
Huh.
And so like we have like,
We put ourselves down we put ourselves down quite a bit.
yeah, and it's not productive, it's not cool, it doesn't work in our favor. And
Yeah.
so man, I'm wearing this thing around my niggas burning me up. That's why I keep doing this.
It's
But
cute. Oh, that's the thing you put up.
oh yeah.
Genius.
but but yeah, no, so we have to be a lot more patient. And then what happens, just like I learned from the people who I work for about how to run business, we have to be able to teach our own people how businesses run by the experience of being in business for ourselves.
Mm,
And if you
yeah.
like hair and whatever it is, then find the source and then
But
sell it.
one of the things that they do, um, from what I've heard from watching all these YouTube videos, is a lot of independent black women that are trying to start maybe a hairline or bring in product.
Yeah.
The Koreans, or I'm not going to name anyone, but I heard that they put a block on things. Like they own regions and territories, so it's harder for us to be able to obtain even simple things like that, like hair. Vendors
Mhm.
won't supply to you because you're black, even though they're selling it to us.
Listen, don't supply to you if your money's green.
Yeah, you're right.
Pull up on them. Go to the trade show.
Look, this is the Oakland coming out, you guys.
I'm serious. Hey, look. Go to the trade show. Go to Korea.
Right. Okay.
I mean, We all know people who will spend $900 on a belt or
You
a
could spend that
thousand
on a
dollars,
flight
$1,000 on a bag. Right? Get on
and
a
go
flight.
meet someone there. That's true.
A whole life.
Right.
And like the people that I know who have decided, man, you know what? I'm gonna go fly here because I heard it's good there. I'm gonna fly here and heard it's good there. There's life change behind that. You've got to pay for information.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. So when I was riding with you maybe 2 weeks ago, you're driving around, dapping up people out the window, saying hi. Um, like I'm like, dang, you know everyone. Yeah, for real. But I wanted to ask, how have you, with your brand and your business, how have you engaged with the community? What are some tactics that you use to bring people in with the community and want them to be aware of your brand?
Oh man. Well, I mean, it started probably like with the graffiti writers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was like kind of like the level I started on in terms of like just street art and shit. I was the very first person with this sticker shit rocking, like putting
I
stickers
seen
on
your
stuff.
stickers in the city.
I was first, okay? I was
Uh huh.
violating shit, putting stickers and wheat paste and shit and posters on stuff. Grindstone was the first one started that shit. And you can ask
Mm.
around to the people who are really the ones out there for real, for real. I started that. But it
I hope
came,
someone counters that in the comments. Go on.
yeah, no, they can't, they can say what they want, but I mean, it's facts. I started that shit, and it started from not having the ability, not having the bread to like put up a billboard or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to like I had a boy who worked at Kinko's when it was Kinko's or whatever. He gave me a hookup on the paper and the printing. I would just do late night runs, wake up in the morning, and just like have stuff everywhere, just violating everything, right?
Mm.
And I figured the people who were driving, if it was traffic, they would have to stop at the stoplight and see that, right? They would have to see it, right? So it started with like these 11 by 17 things. Then I just reduced it to stickers because it was easier work. Like
Right.
when the cameras came out on the street, I was like, man, we can't do those midnight runs and like just like just dog all people's property and just hurt everything. So the stickers something easy. I'll just take some stickers out of my pocket, slap it on. Nobody else was doing that. That's what I learned.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
so,
idea because people are still
yeah.
doing that now.
Oh, it's big now because it makes sense, right?
But even if you have a brand or like, because, okay, so before we even go further, can you explain what Grindstone Universal is and all of the entities that come with it? Because I don't think we
Okay.
established exactly.
Right, right,
And I
right.
also wanted to put your website in the comments. It's just Grindstone Universal, right?
GrindstoneUniversal.com, right?
Yeah. You guys can go
So,
visit his page. I'm gonna put it in the comments.
yeah, so, all right, so Grindstone Universal is a fashion brand. It's a lifestyle brand. I guess it's safe to say to call it that now.
Right.
Um, my main thing that I make clothes, upscale, upscale streetwear. And I
Okay.
say upscale streetwear because I find the innovative cutting edge on design and
Oh,
and
thanks.
let me get all these messages. I find the innovative technologies and just techniques, printing, just whatever might be the edge of it, and I
Right.
go all in there. So, and it turns out I like to use the same materials that some of the more notable designer brands use and charge you five hundred
Right.
dollars for whatever. Um, and so yeah, so clothing is the mainstay. I also have a branch out to Grindstone Music,
Yeah.
and so so with Grindstone Music, I have albums out. If you go on, I don't know, iTunes, Tidal, Apple Music, Spotify, all
Promote
that.
yourself.
Yeah, then you'll find like, and just look up Grindstone. Under that, like all those albums are mine. My main artist right now is Pinky Killicorn, and
Yes.
so if you look up Pinky Killicorn on all the platforms, that's my artist. So like we really rocking. Like my commitment to Grindstone and my commitment to those who expect something from me is high quality output.
Mm. I will give you that, really, because all the clothes you have, I really paid attention to your stitching. Your stitching and
Mm,
your clothes is just like it's magnificent, to be honest. Like for people who actually pay attention to it and feel it, it's
yeah.
quality. And I think that's also
Right.
something else that connects you with the community is because, you know, you're saying that you're using these fabrics that high-end designers would use, and things like that, but that connects you to the community when you don't charge $1 million for it. Like your prices are very reasonable. And I think the community relates to that because it is high quality at like an affordable cost. So
Yeah, I mean, it's a battle trying to find, because if I really charged what it was really worth, like if I did some kind of metric with that manpower hours and the just the stuff that I do to make it come to fruition, it would be double what it is now.
yeah,
But
don't do that.
everybody who everybody who gets what they get, they I want people to have a relationship with the item and be like, man, this is my favorite thing. I love to
Mm,
wear, So I created with that in mind.
okay, I like that. What are some things that you? Okay, well, one of my questions is, what are some tactics that you've used to keep your business relevant? I think I kind of asked that with the community aspect, but no, you can kind of elaborate on that because, like I said,
Well,
I know you use your website. You'll use like, what'd you say? Like a flyer. You'll post it on websites. I don't remember.
well, no, let me tell you. Okay, so one of my mentors, he's 73 right now, right? But he always is hip on to the next thing,
Mm,
right? And part of that is just your mind, and then part of that is the information that you seek, right? And I learned that from him. Like he could easily be played out and sit back and be rich.
right.
He could relax, right? But he's still very active in his hunt for information and observing. Like he's the one, he told me, if you want to know about style, just catch the red line from one end to the other.
Dang.
And
Yeah,
and
that's
right, and
true.
I was just like, damn, this dude just got so much game. Like he just has like all these little jewels that he'll just put me up on,
Yeah.
and most of it isn't convenient. Like
Mm.
convenience is the bait for all traps, right? So if you
Nope.
seek, in fact, if you seek convenience, then you will find yourself trapped. And so a lot of the stuff is kind of like the analog, I guess you would say, hard way to find information. But once you find that information and go that way, it can't
Yeah.
be taken from you. Like
Mm.
it's an imprint that's there forever. And
Hmm.
so I just try to think about, like, right now. This is a reset. This time right here,
Yeah.
business will not be what it was um, 4 months ago.
Right.
Like the next 4 months won't be like it was. It's not going to go back. So the
Yeah.
person who has the idea of what not only was like most feasible, but was most sustainable and how we're developing, that's the person who's going to win. So part of it is your imagination.
Hmm.
And then part of it is studying something that's like very grounded in sustainability. So it's like a two-part thing,
Hmm.
and it's evolving. Don't get so rigid and so caught up on your ego and your education or whatever it is you come from. Like you're a baby out here. We all are. And so like
Right.
just keep going with your imagination and try to make that imaginary thing sustainable.
Hmm. Look, I'm like this. Snap, snap.
I'm saying, look, everything that we experience is a product of somebody's thought.
Huh.
You know, like
Everything we experience is a product of someone's thought.
everything. The fact that a room is square, or the fact that
Oh, I see
uh,
what you're saying.
it don't
Yeah.
matter. Like everything, somebody thought about it and they just went there.
Right.
And so that's how we have to think forward.
Right. I like that advice though. You got it. You have this idea, you need to run with it. And this generation is very big on that. We're not sitting at desks for 30 years now. A lot of times people can come up with a great startup plan, like a startup business, and they'll quit their job within 6 months and be like, I'm out. I'm ready to bet everything on this idea.
And don't
But
bet
that,
everything.
yeah, some people do.
No, but I'm saying have like you're all the way, I'm going to do all this shit, but then like tuck some away. So like say if you're working, right?
Right.
If you're working, you pay yourself first. And I never did understand that shit when people would tell me, but say you're working for somebody else, all right, fuck it, you got your check. All right, a certain percentage of this check goes to me. And not for me to just go fuck off, but a certain part of that goes to me for me to build my way up out of this place that I'm in. Or put this towards my thing, you know? Or if it's time, like say not money, say if it's time, right?
Time, yeah, because that
If
can be just as valuable.
So say if you have like a 9 to 5, which means you probably got to get up at 7, out the house 7:30, fight through traffic, you get there at 9, get home, whatever, you eat dinner, whatever, you finally settle by 8 p.m. You got to take 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. or to 12 midnight to do what you're going to do with that time to build yourself out of that hole. That's not your time to like kick your feet up and
Oh my gosh.
drink some wine and think that life is going to change. So you have to like,
you have to like actively start putting away
Yeah.
time for you to get out. Yeah.
That's the only way. That's
Right.
it. And so I just really believe that society is designed for you to not do that with your time because they like you as a minion and
Yep.
not as a boss. And they want you under the system of not thinking free. So like your time gets dominated by mundane things, which is another great thing about this particular time. We have no sports. We have no new episodes or stuff or no new movies.
I mean, I'm watching new episodes of Real Housewives.
Okay. But what I'm saying is the fewer distractions you have and the more you can figure out, man, I'm gonna put 3 hours to this today. I'm gonna put 4 hours to this today. Then the more you build this platform for yourself for your desired outcome. And then
I need to listen to that.
and then keep doing that and let a year go by. And then compare your year self to the person who was bullshitting. And then check in on next New Year's. You'll be like miles ahead.
That's smart. I'm gonna take that. All right.
I mean, the power of accumulation is serious. You know, one thing, like one little thing at a time, the power of accumulation is major.
Dang, I need to stop watching so much TV.
Yeah, cut that
But you
shit
know
out.
what? But you know what? I use that as like experience. Like,
It's not experience, sorry.
but I'm into film, so I feel like
You need to be making film.
Okay, well, this is a start.
Hold on.
Look, no, for real though, because I got everyone around me to start watching TV with a caption on, because I don't watch TV just to watch it for shits and giggles. I watch it for the script. I watch it for the production. I watch it for who's making it. It's like an entire thing that I watch it for.
That's right.
So I always have to keep up with what's coming out because I'm actually interested in the behind the scenes aspect of it, and the throwing of drinks and, you know, cussing each other out.
Let me tell you. Hey, check this out. Look, check this out. So I produced, and this is why I'm going to refute exactly what you said.
Okay.
I produced the second reality show that ever came out. So, look,
What?
It was, damn, I forgot the name of it, but it was on Allen Iverson's mother.
Oh.
Right? So, the only show that was out that was a reality show at that time, it was The Flavor of Love.
I knew you were about to say that.
And so, at that time, like, man, happy birthday, Bubba Chuck. Like, so I was cool with Allen Iverson and his folks, right?
Right.
And Bubba Chuck was thinking I was supposed to say happy birthday. But his mom was off the damn chain, right? And we was like, man, she's a walking TV show. Like, this shit don't make no damn sense. Like, she's just wild as fuck, right? But she was surrounded by celebrities and just all this. And this was before the camera phone shit, so like people were really behaving the way they wanted to. So my man was kind of like her executive handler, to, you know, like for lack of a better term.
Right.
And so we produced a TV show. And that shit
Did it
was
ever
on
see the
TV.
light of day?
That shit was on TV1.
Oh, okay.
We had only got 3 episodes, but this is because everybody thought that the ratchet black woman was too embarrassing at the time. And I was like, no. This shit is relatable. People fuck with this. But so they didn't really give us a whole lot of run. But next thing you know, Real Housewives, all that other shit started coming out. But about putting film out or shows or nothing. But what I did, I found a production company who was familiar with it. So I was like, I got this, y'all got that. Let's do this. And we ran it. And so a lot of the time you gotta just jump in and fuck all that studying.
I know.
Jump in and learn as you go along, because what you'll end up doing, you'll end up convincing yourself that you don't know enough to start.
That's literally it. I do that all the time. I'm sure most people do that. It's just like that constant thing in the back of your head that's like, why would you do that? You don't know enough on it. But
that's your enemy.
You know enough to be interested in it to that extent. So you got to start somewhere.
Ask me some questions.
Yeah,
I feel like I've been talking too much. I feel like I've been talking too much.
I'd like to ask if anyone in the audience or in the comments, they want to ask any questions for you, or of you, I should say. I like to take that time too. If you guys have any questions for him. Does anyone know what time it is? Do you know? I don't have a clock near me.
8:56.
Oh, okay. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. So speaking about the pandemic and you opening your store, what struggles have you experienced since you've opened your store while everything's going on right now?
Every imaginable problem. See, I had it all figured out.
Yep.
And then everything changed. So I would say from November to now, I've learned more about myself and about other things than I've learned, probably in the past 10, 15 years.
Wow.
Because I had to learn it and apply it. There was no time to think about it.
And also at a very fast pace as well.
Yeah. When somebody asked the question, that if starting a new business starter as a younger person, any advice for me? Okay, I imagine that. Do you have any advice for a younger person starting business? Yeah. You have to. Okay, well, I guess it kind of depends on the business, but then.
It's telling me I have 1 minute and 55 seconds, so do what you can.
Oh shit. Okay.
I know.
Well, for a younger person starting business, go to. I guess if you're in DC, I'm not sure if you're in DC, but go to the Department of Regulatory Affairs. Find out how to register your business. Get an attorney, a business attorney, and get a accountant that you trust. Interview them to see if they're fit, and then get somebody who's a marketing person for your business, and figure out how to place yourself in the fray. And read a book called The Tipping Point. It's by Malcolm Gladwell. It's a great book.
The Tipping Point.
Yeah.
No, that was good advice. And also someone asked, do you need any graphic designers, content creators, or digital marketers?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys want to go visit his page, it's at Grindstone Universal. Go follow him.
My page is,
sorry?
No, my page is grind_stone.
Oh, okay. And his website, I pinned it, is Grindstone Universal. He actually has a lot of gems, so we might have to do a part 2 to this one day. But he has like a lot of facts for you guys to listen to. But this was just, like I say every time, this was for us to have a conversation. This is for us to get our blood flowing, our juices flowing, our minds going. So thank you guys for listening. I know this hour went by really fast. But again, follow him, grind_stone, and you can say what you want to say.
I love y'all. Lead with love.
Say it again, honey. And happy birthday to Breonna Taylor. Her birthday passed this weekend. So I'm going to just finish this with a moment of silence because we have 5 seconds. Thank you guys.